listen to those sounds. I wonder if it's too loud for a fairy reading in the woods. We shall see. I am thrilled to bring you guys with me this morning. I wish you lived closer to me so we could go walking in the woods together. And just notice just the gorgeous blue sky today. Beautiful, cool temperatures where I am. And we're going in to do our readings. And I see a first few turns of leaves going to red. Welcome. As we enter into the woods, I have these keys hanging here because the key to a better life is gratitude, period. And so can you think of 4 things that you're grateful for as we start off today? I'm grateful for air. I'm grateful for food. I'm grateful for you being here with me. And I'm grateful for my body that's housing me. And you know what? I'm even grateful for the shadows, the dark, because what's dark in my life, look at how it's the biggest key. And yet how many times we shy away from the dark, don't we? But the thing is about the fairies is they don't shy away from nothing. The fairies have wonderful senses of humor. Okay, here we're at the first fork in the road. Which way should we go, you guys? Left or right? Good morning, Jessica. Hey, Tanisha. You guys tell me, which direction should I go? To the left? Should I go to the right? I love how we can interact with one another and how we can spend time with one another through the miracle of these live videos. Because, thank you, Jessica. I will go to the right. Now, doesn't it make you feel like you're here with me? You are. This is a miracle of the internet. So I've hung some ornaments throughout my little fairy forest because I want this place to be filled with hope and life, and I want to share it with people. So last winter, I think it was about in, October, November, I started to clear these paths in the middle of my woods. And I didn't know who owned this woods. You know, it was near my house, and so I kind of took it over. Well, guess what? Recently, I met the owner of this property, and they, look at that. They emptied the suet feeder. I better get a new one out here. But I'm at another fork in the road. Which way? Left or right? What do you guys think? Isn't it gorgeous? Is that noise? Do the bugs, whatever, I think they might be locusts. Are they disturbing, or can you hear my voice okay? I have my fairy deck in my pocket. I have magical fairy shoes on my feet. And which way should I go, you guys? Left or right? Right. Okay. And I found like I lay out these logs and I started to rake the surface of the woods and create these paths, because when I come in here, I just feel connected. I rarely see animals here, but I see evidence of the animals. Now this part of the walk, see the bells hanging in the trees? I call this the bell curve because I'm always trying to encourage people to consider the bell curve. You know what that is? That's that graph that goes up and down, because whatever you're waiting for, whether it's love or money or health, there are some people who have very good luck when it comes to attracting health. And then there's a lot of people in the middle. And then there's a lot of people who don't seem to have any success. And so this curve in my little path helps me remember, if I'm getting discouraged or disappointed, it might be because I don't understand my place in the process. So we're walking along here. We're almost to the ferry station. Thank you for being patient. I'm so glad y'all are here. Look at that. Now, doesn't that look like a puddle? It looks like a puddle, but it's actually a splash of light. But can you see that it's pink? To me, it's not pink on the ground, you guys. It's just looks like a normal splash of sunshine. But when I see these pink, I know the fairies are here with us today. They're already playing with your minds, you guys, because that is not pink. I'm just saying. And look at how there's more pink along the way. I just feel I have goosebumps, and I feel like there's a bell ringing for everybody that's watching me today as we go forward. So I'm going to make it really easy today because I want, as always, I want to help you guys practice the beautiful practice of gratitude as I draw the readings. And here we have this little place here. This is where, oh gosh, see, now here's evidence of somebody doing mischief here. This is the place where I call this little fairy the Sentinel, and that little fairy is in charge of the rest of the garden over here where the fairy station is. See that log over there? That's where I do my readings. Hey Mario, a diamond in the rough, Ariel. You know what? I feel like I've seen the evidence of fairies for sure, because look at this. Somebody has knocked over my little dog. And so when the little dog has been moved, I kind of figure that there's been some kind of animal or fairy action, right? And also, all of these are hickory nuts. And this is a hickory tree. And in the hickory family, isn't that gorgeous, you guys? OMG. But the hickory tree is known for legal matters and stubbornness and holding on to things you need to let go of. I'm not even kidding. So when I come in here and I see all of these hickory nuts, I know that the universe is calling me to let go of something. And I sincerely believe that's our message today when I finally get myself over to my station where y'all can have your fairy card reading today. So in order to get a fairy card reading, all you have to do is say you love fairies. That's it. Super easy. Just put in there, tell the fairies how much you love them, how much you enjoy their sense of humor. And here I have like a golden icicle hanging down. I just kind of went through my Christmas box and I brought out things that would be meaningful. Okay, so this is very weird, you guys. This is very weird. The other day when I was here, these geese were laying down, and I remember seeing them, but I was walking the dogs and I just didn't take the time. And now they're standing back up again next to this giant angel. And so I love when things happen like this, where I don't understand exactly whether it was animal or human that visited my woods, because I've invited a lot of people to come to the woods with me, and nobody takes me up on it. So if you guys love the looks of my fairy woods, hit that thumbs up, would you? Because that connects you to me in a very real way as we prepare ourselves for the fairy readings. Okay? And so over here, I just want you to peek at this. This is a place I think the fairies really could live, don't you? Yeah, the mischief. You are right, Jessica. I was once doing some pet sitting. I'm sorry I'm talking so much today instead of doing readings. Thank you for being patient. But see that cool bird statue? Somebody gave me that. It's actually a music box. And I thought, this is so perfect to put in the woods. I love it. But look at that. Doesn't it look like a mouth? And deep in there, it's a deep hole. And these kinds of things really make me think of the fairies. So I want to get some fairy furniture and put it there like a meditation spot for the fairies, because I do have another spot. Now this is where we do our readings, so I'll be sitting down here in just a moment, I promise. But I do want to show you over here the fairy garden itself. Okay, I'm just kind of ducking under the trees. So here is my spot. Oh, and look at, see that? Does that look pink to you guys, or is it just me? Who sees pink? If you see pink, hit the thumbs up, because I sure do, and it's not pink, you guys. It's regular sunlight on the dirt, so how it turns out to be pink, I don't know. But here's where the other part of my, ooh, now since I've been here, a spider has built a huge web around here. And so I always hesitate, like when I feel like cleaning nature's work, because we really don't know what the real fairies think about it. But anyway, somebody gave me this turtle. Oopsie, sorry. Somebody gave me this sign. And so I just, and this, the queen fairy back there, that's actually a piggy bank. And I put 20 pennies in there just for good luck. And then I actually picked up those little fairy houses at the dollar store of all things. And so there's the signs of nature being nature here as the spiders make these beautiful webs on things. And I'm glad that I'm not seeing any of them right this second. And I'm looking at this thing here I haven't seen before, so I'm just leaning in I promise we're getting to our fairy readings here in just a second. What is that? Oh, is it an egg? I can't tell. It looks so delicate. Anyway, so now you can see part of the reason I keep my peace is because I get to come here. And you know what? If I lived in a place like this, where this was my land, I might have to pay taxes on it, and I might have to be responsible for it. But when I met the owner of the property, he said to me, you know what? Somebody's been building a path in the woods. And I said, it's me. I've been doing it for several months. And here, look at how I took these branches of this tree and I wound them together so that I could have free passage. And so one day somebody will walk through this woods and they'll see this and they'll think to themselves, what? Anyway, so let me come back over here and let me get myself set up for the readings. Thank you so much. I can't wait. You guys know I just got a new fairy deck. It's a fairy tarot deck, so it's got some wonderful messages. And the fairies are well represented because, as Jessica said, they are naughty and nice at the same time, aren't they? Okay, so there's my log. Oh, I would give anything if y'all were here, sitting on my log right over here, right across from me. And so that's how you play the game today. All you have to do is pretend. Oh my goodness. Okay. One of my angels got booted right out of his scene. Somebody has been in the woods. This reminds me of not Hansel and Gretel. It's like the three bears and say, somebody's been eating my porridge. Somebody's been messing in my fairy garden. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay. Let's grab my candle. I'm so grateful that you're all so patient with me. Okay. You know what? When you go to like garage sales and dollar stores and stuff like that, you can find the cutest things. Oh, Mystic Christina is here. I'm so grateful. Oh, yeah. I mean, I use different things that I find from the most unusual places to create the fairy garden. And so, Mystic Christina, do you know that the light on the ground looks pink today? I don't understand it. I've never seen that before. I've been in the woods filming before, but all of the sunny spots. Let's see if I can show you guys one more time before I start the readings. See how pink that looks? Is it just my imagination? I'm like, what? Christina Rose just got back from a vacation on a lake, and she would send me videos just to be cruel. No, I'm just teasing. But they were so gorgeous, and there's so much nature. Where there's a lot of nature, there are a lot of fairies. But I cannot believe this is showing up pink. So I just know we're at the right spot at the right time. See how the light inside the candle looks pink? Is it just my eyes? Holy moly. Okay. So now, let me get my cards. This is our deck. Mystic Fairy for Mystical Christina. And Christina has stepped up and became a member. You notice I changed my name to Fish Out of Water and Friends. That's because I discovered a way how I can incorporate card lovers from all over the world to be part of what I do here. I'm so thrilled about that because I've done over 2,000 readings right now. Can you believe it? So yes, thank you. And Mystical Christina, what we're asking for today is just for people to tell us how much they love fairies. I think the fairies want to be loved today because of all that pink. And I think they're also really grateful that I came to the woods. So that's what our requirement is. If you want a reading, and I know a couple of the people have already indicated that they love the fairies. So if you can help me out to know who's next in line, I appreciate it, okay? So I'm just going to scroll back. Now I've got my cards. I'm so excited. Ooh, see that? Little pink. You guys, I'm just so stunned. I'm just stunned that there's so much pink here today. Okay, now I'm hoping those sit. And I'm hoping that the noise of the bugs in the background is not distract, okay? So the first thing I'm noticing is there's an ant running down the maple tree that's sitting next to me. And so I want to encourage you to Google the maple tree and also Google ant, because ant medicine is very interesting. I just love this. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to say I feel really emotional right now, and I just want to lift our spirits up for this reading because something is very special about today. And it's the 11th. And whenever you have the 11, it's always a good reminder to stay in your lane, okay? And also, sometimes tough love is important, isn't it, everyone? The fairies are wanting you already to know that, yes, being kind and loving is important, but only if the person you're being kind and loving to honors your boundaries, because otherwise we have to use tough love. Okay, so fairies, thank you for this moment of time. Thank you for the noise in the background. I apologize if it's too loud, guys, but thank you for the love that you're showing us. Okay, all right, I wish I could filter it out, but I will speak up during the readings. Oh, diamond in the rough. Thank you. I'm just reaching up and holding on to the tree now. The tree is so small. I can reach my whole hand around it. The whole trunk is that big. So I am so grateful for that message. So angels and fairies, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for giving us the readings today. And thank you for showing us exactly what the people need to know, to feel loved. Okay? All right. So the cards are ready. And I think, I know Diamond in the Rough, oh, wonderful, man. But all that pink, isn't that something? So let me just go back. I'm just going to go back and look for our love for the fairies. And I see that Diamond in the Rough, you were the first. I thought so. And so I'm going to go back. And Jessica, you were next, and I love what you said. The fairies, you love them and you enjoy their mischief. And I agree 100%. So let's start off with a Diamond in the Rough, and then we will go to Jessica. What I recommend, you guys, is that you allow yourself to receive a reading from the fairies and not try to kind of boss the fairies around. Just see what it is they have for you. So I'm just going to tilt the deck this way so that it's easier for me. And our Diamond in the Rough, you are our first, you know what was going to come to me? The first victim. But I don't mean to use that word, except that, you know what? I woke up in the night thinking about the idea of how victim energy can hold us back. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that, but anyway, 19 minutes in before your first reading, you guys are the most patient people in the world. Okay, what do we have? We have the Seven of Cups. So Diamond in the Rough. Let's just take a look and breathe. So Diamond in the Rough, what's happening is the fairies are very aware that you do feel like a fish out of water. So many people that come to my readings, we all have that sense of a little bit of shyness when it comes to speaking our truth, a little bit of not knowing how to draw boundaries, especially if people need our attention or want our attention so desperately. In a way, I think about these locusts that are just singing, right? Their hearts are open, their throats are open. I don't think it's their throat, I think it's their tail. But the idea of creating this noise, do you know why they do it? To attract each other's attention. And it's competitive, okay? So again, I'm seeing the repetition of the pink here. Now see, this makes sense to me because this is pink on the card. This light inside the candle is not pink. It's just picking up that way. So you're being asked, Diamond in the Rough, to make a choice. There's something you've been considering laying down. It may be a bad habit. It could be a person. But I'm sensing a toxic energy that you've been aware of for a very long time. Could be 7 months, could even be 7 years, where you've just had something kind of eating away at you. And the fairies they get it. They get it. They don't know sometimes what your best bet is, because you are the chooser of your thoughts. You're the chooser of your life. And if there's something that you need to leave behind, it's so important that you recognize that and honor yourself. Another thing is, are you drinking enough water, my dear Diamond in the Rough? Because it may show that a little hydration could do you a bit of good, okay? Let me see if there's anything else that I noticed. Yes, the water lilies that are here are calling to me. There are 7 of them, and I feel like you're being called to get yourself to a body of water. Either a lake, even a puddle, but something where you can gaze into water, I think would be really good for you. Wonderful. Thank you for being here, the gorgeous card. Okay, let's go on, and we're going to Jessica next. If you guys want a fairy card reading, so simple, all you do is tell something that you love about the fairies, okay? And let's pull a card for Miss Jessica. If you're enjoying these In the Woods readings, do let me know by hitting the thumbs up or subscribing. And also, thank you for your understanding with my noisy background. All right, so let's look at what we have for Jessica. And we have the 3 of Pentacles. Let's take a look at it. Oh, wow. So the first thing that I'm aware of, okay, so today, one of the small readings that I put out, it's one of my favorite Hanged Man cards in all of tarot, and I know you'll see what I mean when you check it out today, all right? Because something's going on in your life, Jessica, where you are in transition, aren't you? You're waiting for something to fully develop. It's like waiting for a butterfly to come out of the cocoon. And you feel like you're working all by yourself. See how you're pulling weeds? So there's something going on where you've got an ongoing project. Look at the bright splash of pink here. So much love for your project. I love how that light is going right towards her head. So your brilliance, your creativity, the fairies love watching you. They feel so excited when they see you make progress. And Jessica, one of the things that will help you the most is delegating and getting people to help you. And right now it looks to me, and especially since I'm reading that energy from that Hanged Man card from the little readings I did this morning, that I'm seeing that there's some thorns. See the thorns? There's some prickly thinking that's been going on in your mind about your project, but that's only because it's so difficult for you to make more progress by yourself. I know you're waiting for this one particular situation to open up for you. That's signified by her watching that butterfly carrying a pentacle. But remember, my good friend Chris Reck over at Minnow Pond Tarot, I took his tarot class and it was so helpful for me. And what he says is teamwork makes the dream work. So anyone that's watching this particular fairy reading, if you're struggling to find helpers, ask the fairy kingdom to help you. I believe they're here wide open to bring you love and guidance. And also other people who enjoy the fairy decks. You guys, I can't help. I know I'm saying this over and over again, but notice this pink that's way out here. See that? That's not pink. I'm just saying, it's just not. So when I see the pink light coming from the candles spilling over the log, I just feel like there's overwhelming love for you guys that love the fairies. Oh, see this? This is the real light. I'm so glad you can see this. This is the color that I'm seeing with my eyes for all of the splashes of light. But for some reason, the fairies have caused my camera to pick up that bright neon pink. So you got me. I have no idea what's going on here. Okay, who's next? Let's see. Gabby. Hey, Gabby, I'm so glad. Here. You know what? I looked, Robert, thank you for telling me about the copperheads. Part of the reason I cleared my paths out here was to keep myself safe from the snakes. And I found out that there's not one single reported death from a person in Tennessee from a venomous snake bite. It's like a scorpion sting, or like a sea anemone or something in the ocean. It stings, but it doesn't kill you. And so I did see a black racer here twice, a very beautiful one, and I'm very cautious about nature. But thank you for your concern. I appreciate that. Okay. You know what, Diamond in the Rough? I started picking up litter around my area, and I know that the fairies are very, very happy when we take time to pick up the litter we see. So you might find that would be fun for you to help the fairies clean up the land. Okay? All right, so let's go forward here and see who else appreciates the fairies and being patient with my loud bugs. Okay. Yes, that's right. Sunlight shining right on her face. Okay. Let's look forward. All right. Okay. Gabby, do you love the fairies? I bet you do. Let's take a look and see what is Gabby's fairy card. If you guys want a reading, just put a salute. Say, I love fairies. Just put it right in there, because that's what our pledge is today, to honor the fairy kingdom. So let me see what your card is, Gabby. And then I'm going to pull one for the collective, because you know what somebody told me, and I just didn't realize it, and that was that many of the people that come into my readings are at work, and that, oh, I love that you had a fairy garden. So cool. Janine, oh, welcome, welcome. I see new people here today, and I'm so grateful that you've come to spend time with me. In the beginning of the reading, I did do a very large tour of the fairy garden, and so I'll put some timestamps in here for you, because you might enjoy seeing the whole garden. So we have Gabby. So Miss Gabby, what is it? Let's look here with our Knight of Wands. Wow. Okay, so the Nine of Wands is a very exciting energy. Oh, nice. You're next to the ocean. I'm jealous. I lived in Mexico, in coastal Mexico, for 4 years. Talk about fairies. Oh my gosh, did I see the evidence in Mexico. But what I'm aware of here is this huge mushroom that she's sitting on. And so I feel like there's something around mushrooms that is important for you, Gabby. You may know exactly what that means. But the thing about mushrooms that strikes me right now is they just recently, I think it's like in just the last 5 years, they decided that mushrooms are their whole different class. They're not even considered plants. That fungi is not a plant. And I grew up thinking that all things that grew outside were plants. So the whole purpose, I think, of me thinking of that for you, Gabby, is that you are very unique. You're so unique. And it's been difficult sometimes for you to fit in, right? Because you have passion, and you may feel frustrated sometimes that people don't get you, people don't understand you, but you are a completely unique being. The Knight of Wands means, oh, there you go, okay. The Knight of Wands sitting on this mushroom, notice how they're just getting ready to stand up. Okay, so I feel like your time at the ocean is going to be really fruitful for you. I think that you're going to feel the energy, like what they call about the ions are different. The energy is different at the ocean. So Gabby, this is the fairies' advice for you, okay? The knights bring offers. So I feel like the fairies are offering you the opportunity. I'm gesturing over here with my other hand. You can't see it. But I feel like the fairies are offering you an opportunity to get to know yourself on a deeper level. All right. I feel like they're calling you into a big sense of self-love, and that the self-love has to do with your reliance on your inner wisdom. That if you get pulled in a direction that doesn't fit for you, call on this Knight of Wands to strengthen you. Now, right now, there's some locust nearby me, and the volume has just gone up. So I feel like you may have had some self-sabotage. There's been maybe some things that have caused you to doubt yourself. Don't listen to that. Stay focused on what you know is true, okay? Thank you guys. You guys, I'm so glad that you all are loving everything that we're doing here today. Thank you so much. So now let me go back here and see who's next. Janine. Yes, Janine, I believe you're next. And you guys, if I skip you and I miss you, just add your name to the bottom of the list and I will get to you as best I can, all right? So let's go next. Thank you for the thumbs up. The fairies deeply appreciate you guys, okay? And if you're just joining me, I just want to point out how some of the light splashes are pink. And I'm seeing so much pink in the garden. I'm just going to pick this up and move it over so you can see. I'm just curious if this will show up. See how pink that looks? I can't get over it. Now, the one on the tree looks a little whiter, but there is pink on the ground all around me as if they were pink puddles of love. And so I just want to just display that because I think it's a way for the angels to bring evidence of their appearance here in the readings. So Janine, you are next. So let's see what the fairies have. Oopsie, what the fairies have for you today. Do you guys like my fairy deck? I do. I'm so tickled. There's not that many fairy decks, you guys, and I'm surprised, really. I do love this one. Okay, so let's take a peek at what we have for Janine. And Scott, you'll be next. And it's the Six of Swords. Okay, let's take a look at it. Now, the beautiful thing about these cards, this particular suit, is that the swords are represented by thorns. And how many times, Janine, have you said, that person is a pain in my arse, or they're a pain in the neck, right? They're a thorn in my side. So with this Six of Swords, what we're seeing is that someone is stepping up to support you, Janine. Someone is helping you to see that you are almost there. Notice how the two fairies are looking at that gorgeous castle in the background, and there are no thorns on the castle, are there? There are thorns here behind them. You may have just gotten through a real challenge where you thought, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. And the truth is, you surprised yourself. You're way stronger than you thought you were. And so as you're going through the finish of this particular challenge, it's so important for you, Janine, to keep your focus on the future. What is it that you prefer? Even though you've been through this recently hard time, the truth is that you can develop thoughts and preferences for honoring your future and also honoring the work you've done so far on being able to travel through a difficult time. Fairies and angels have been important to you, Janine, over time, and today it may be you who's supposed to be the recipient of all this pink light that is happening around us right now. It's almost like a pink fire. And I think that I see the pink reflected in the wings of the fairies. Oh, you know what? I'm just sensing something for you, Janine. Keep your eye out for dragonflies. dragonflies are a blessing, and I feel like you're going to be seeing one in the next 24 hours. And then please remember back to this reading and thank the fairies for the sign. Also, if you look up the spiritual meaning of dragonfly, it's a wonderful extra blessing for you. Okay? Wonderful reading. And Scott, you are next. And let's see what Scott's fairy message is from the Mystic Fairy deck. If you guys are fairy fans and you want to, I just want to show you, I want to show you the deck so you can add it to your collection if you like. It is a winner, and this is what it is. I have been enchanted by this deck. Also, if you are a tarot reader or a oracle card reader, or even if you're not and you just have cards in a collection, I am interested in you. Please email me. I forgot to bring my email thing. It's tarotinfoplease at gmail.com, because I have a project I'm working on. I'm looking for collaborators to be here with me at Fish Out of Water and Friends. So thank you for reaching out. Okay, so Scott, let's see what the fairies have for you. The devil. Very interesting. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay, so Scott, did you notice how the volume went up? The volume of the locust, then now it calmed down. And also, I can't help but notice how pink these wings are, Scott, and we have it surrounded by the pink light. So I feel like you have been kind of fighting a battle. I wish I could see one of these bugs so I could understand it. But I think, Scott, you have been facing a battle. There's been something pulling at you. You're like, see how interesting that the thorns are in the flesh? What did I just say on that last card? A thorn in the flesh. Okay, so many times if you have an annoyance, if something's bothering you, we call it a thorn in the flesh, because in Tennessee, where I live, there are some briar bushes that a human being cannot walk through. I mean, you just can't. Even my dogs, if they start to walk, there's no clearance. It's 100% pain, total thorns. So because of that, Scott, I think you may be caught up in a trap in your old thinking. There's something that's happened in the past that has been deeply problematic for you. And in order to go forward, you have to let go of that. I was going to say let go of that shit. Sorry. But it's just that what can you do to eliminate self-stress? Okay, take a breath. Anybody who can relate to this, take a breath. The fairies are heartbroken to see how much pain that you have. And this particular fairy is wearing a mask. They're wearing a devil mask to show you that the devil is in the details. The devil is not here to harm you. This card is here to advise you to look at the past. Who can you let go of? I was just in contact yesterday with someone who's 60-some years old, and they still hate their growing up years. Even though they're in their 60s, they can't let go of the bad things that happened when they were a child. And part of me says, look, you're 60-some years old. Isn't it time to release those thorns? So there's a man online called Michael Singer, and you guys know I recommend his work a lot. Michael Singer talks about learning to let go. So whenever the fairies come with this card, they're like saying, let go, dummy, let go. It's all in your hands. And they're a little frustrated with you because they want you to get those thorns out of your flesh, but only you can do it. Got it? A great message. Never let the devil card intimidate you. All it is showing you a temptation that you have to hang on to a way that you're doing life that just isn't working for you anymore. Okay? So if you're just joining me, welcome. I'm Catherine. We're doing fairy readings today, actually out in my fairy forest. I'm just going to take a break. I should have brought some water with me. But I just want to show you where I'm sitting in this gorgeous piece of land in Tennessee, where I get the great pleasure of reading the fairy cards for you today. I wish you were here with me in person. Notice the huge splash of pink on the ground. Again, I say to you guys, that light is not pink. It's not close to pink. When my regular eyes look at it, it looks white, just like regular light. But for some reason, I've never seen this before, where the fairies had just laid out this gorgeous pink puddles of love everywhere. And I'm so glad you guys are here to share it with me. It means the world to me. Okay? So anyway, thank you for letting me take that little break, little commercial for the fairies. And let's see who's next. If you would love for me to draw a card for you, all you have to do is tell me how much you love the fairies. That's all the fee is today. And if you want a private reading, I'm here for you. ManifestFaster.com. That'll tell you everything you need to know about private readings. Okay. I apologize for how loud the sound is. Thank you for putting up with it with me. You know, the fairies do love nature, and the fairies are used to the noises in the woods, right? So they're being patient with us. Thank you. We have 11 thumbs up right now, which makes me want to remind you what I said earlier about the number 11. That 11 is a reminder to stay in your lane. Okay, the fairies want you to stay in your lane. Don't go wander off to your family person. Don't let your attention wander off to your finances. Right now, make your lane wanting to hear the fairy message for you and to absorb all of this pink light that's here today. All right, so we have Anjali. Welcome, Anjali. I love that you love the spiritual kingdom. Do we have angels here in the woods? Indeed, we do. I'll bring my Archangel deck out here sometime and do readings. Would you guys like that? Okay, let's pull a card for beautiful Anjali. I hope I'm saying your name right. Such a pretty word to say. Okay, all right, Miss Anjali, here is your card and the Empress. Now, Miss Anjali, I know that the other day you were here for a reading, and I remember that you were wanting to be seen as more mature by your family, I think, right? And you wanted them to be able to release you and to be able to have the kind of career that you want, to pick your own partner, and to be free. And so pulling on that energy from the other day, I feel like the fairies are here to support you. They're wanting you to be successful. But and the Empress card is like the boss. She's like the queen of manifestation. So the High Priestess card comes when we're needing to really be more studious on the internal, that we're working on our magnetism, that we're working on our ability to love others even though they're a pain in the arse, and our ability to be patient, superly be patient. The Empress is often pictured pregnant, and that just is that sense of something wonderful is going to be born any minute. Now, what I'm looking at with her, though, is just look at her face, Anjali. She looks a little bit, well, she does not look joyful, does she? There's almost a bit of sadness in this Empress card. And so what I notice is she's alone, okay? She's carrying the wheat, and the wheat is ripe. And so she's got a gift to give, but at this point, she's alone. And then I'm also looking at this little flower up here that is just starting to bloom. So I feel for you, Anjali, your ability, see, excuse me for a second. When my throat gets scratchy like that, it's always my signal that there's a little bit of a problem speaking your truth, Anjali. And I really understand that because you have such a sweet nature, you don't want to offend. But as you keep walking forward and toward what it is you're really wanting, understand you are a very powerful manifester, and that as you make your decisions and choose firmly what it is, you really choose firmly what it is that you're wanting, you're going to feel more confident, okay? Have you ever heard that term, fake it till you make it? Well, that can be problematic sometimes. But for you, it's not, because you need to assume that you are confident. So an affirmation that might work for you, Anjali, is, even though I don't feel very confident, I trust the fairies to help me learn how to be more confident, right? Even though I don't feel secure making decisions separate from my family, the truth is I am ready to make changes with the fairies' help. Remember, Anjali, all of this pink light in my forest today, it's just so profound. I can't explain it. I've never seen it before, and I don't understand it. But I do feel like what's happening is that you're being surrounded by so much love that you can't see. And I want you to remember that, okay? You guys who are new here, thank you so much. I see people flooding in. I just want to demonstrate again for all that you haven't seen that this pink light, now here it looks half white and half pink, but if I swing my camera this way, you'll see that all of this light looks like pink puddles. I don't understand it, but I'm receiving it as direct evidence that the fairies want us to understand love today, okay? So there you have it. Now, if you want a reading, happy to give it to you. All you have to do is acknowledge the fairies. Let us know how much you love them. And I am here to draw a card for you. Oh, I'm louder than the bugs. Oh, and Gabby just bought a tortoise. A real life tortoise? Oh, gosh, I'm jealous. When I was a little kid, there were box turtles that lived in Indiana. And I have a feeling there's box turtles down here, and I would love to find one to own and keep it in my garden. I just would love that. So y'all, let's put out an intention that Catherine finds a turtle, okay? Hit that thumbs up if you're on board. And let's go forward. Cheryl, absolutely. What we're doing today is just allowing, Kane, welcome. Oh, I love the fairy wings also. So, yes, if you want to, here's what we'll do, Cheryl. If you can just hold in your mind the question that you have, just hold it in your mind. You can say it here, but then the game is, can you feel the answer of the fairies in this random card, okay? All right, so we're going to draw a card for Cheryl. Thank you guys for playing the game with me. All we need is for you to acknowledge the fairy kingdom, and I will draw a card for you. Okay, let's draw one for Cheryl. Oh, very interesting card for you, Cheryl. What we have here is the Justice card. So it does look to me that there's something going on for you where you are waiting for justice. I feel in a way this is like not your energy. I feel that see how when I move the card, the light goes up and down the sword. I think that you are standing for what is right, that you want to see proper justice done, but also there's this fatigue. Can you see how tired she looks? And I look at the blue pillow that she's sitting on. So she's sitting on the skill of speaking your truth. Okay, when I look at her gown, I can see that it's mostly white, but it does have the blue edge around the top and around the bottom, and then she's got blue wings. So I feel for you, Cheryl, you're being called to speak your truth in a major way. And even if it feels difficult and you wish you didn't have to do it, there's a part of you is like, oh, do I have to? But when I look at the berries, see the berries around the card? That's fruit, isn't it? It's fruit. They're not blossoms. Notice that in her hair, she's also wearing a wreath that suggests victory, and there's fruit. So Cheryl, what I see the fairy kingdom telling you is that the long wait is almost over. Whatever it is that you have been waiting for and you've been so patient, thank God you've got a pillow to sit on. This has not been easy. That the key is going to be when you're asked a question, that you will sense the need to be truthful. You take a breath and speak it. Do not hold back. There's something that will bring justice to you when you're able to speak the truth. And the last thing I want to point out is the blindfold. The blindfold is helping her keep her eyes off the situation. Abraham Hicks, who I love, they teach us that we can think something sad or something that makes us upset. We can think that for 17 seconds, well, no, like around 10 seconds, and be safe. Because then, if after only 10 seconds of whining to yourself about how unfair it is, if you shift or pivot to something else, you don't have to think about your situation in a happier way. No, no, no. All you need to do is something physical. You could do a plank. You know how to do a plank? If you go down and do a plank and make yourself do it for as long as you can, it's almost impossible to worry while you're doing a plank. Got it? Another thing, if you can even run your wrists under cold water, and you can just let the cold water chill your blood. And the last thing is, I have a friend from Nicaragua. I met her in Mexico, my dear Tanya, and she, whenever I would be upset, she would always tell me, go get a glass of cold water. I went, what? She goes, my mom always taught me that when my emotions are high, to drink cold water and cool off my insides first. What a great piece of advice, right? So do these things for yourself instead of worrying. Also, Sherelle, please check the description box because there's a tool in there called the Worry Cure. And if worry is a problem for you, the Worry Cure will help you. All right, excellent. Don't be surprised if you are on the reading and you hear something that resonates with you, even though you have not asked the question. That's very common. Birds of a feather flock together, for sure. So there's no accident that you've been attracted to the fairy reading today. Okay, hey, Kane. Very nice. I love it. So Kane has had spent the morning with his mom and then saw an ornament of fairies today, and then came back to find these fairy readings. So that's such a clear indication. Kane, make sure that you come review the beginning of the video because I do a whole tour of the garden and I think you'll love it. I didn't actually get started with the readings for almost 19 minutes because I was so busy sharing my fairy forest with you guys. But Kane, let's do a reading for Kane. Kane, what do the fairies have for you today? Let's pull a card. Don't you love the deck too? I just am over the moon. Okay, and here's our card. And the Eight of Cups. All right, let's take a look at it. This is really interesting. The Seven of Cups came up earlier, Kane, and I'm going to put timestamps on here so that you can see clearly. Oh my gosh, it's a dragonfly, you guys. I didn't see that. Okay, so dragonfly came out. What reading was that? Anybody remember? I can't remember who, but I said watch for a dragonfly. So if that's you and you're still here, there is a deep spiritual meaning to dragonfly. One of the things is that they switch direction really quickly. Their eyes can see 360 degrees. Notice how that fairy is pointing to the eye. Can you see that, Kane? The fairy is pointing to the eye. So what I'm seeing for you, Kane, is that there's changes coming for sure, and you need to stay alert. There is a part of you that does feel like a fish out of water. I think that's why you follow me, because you and I have a similar experience with maybe we trust animals more than people. Maybe learning how to be with humans is extra challenging. We just feel like we're always a misfit or we don't quite fit. So on the Seven of Cups, we saw that card a few cards ago, and it was telling us that there's things that we have to give up. There's things that no longer serve us. And the fairy on the card has concern on their face. But look at this fairy's face. She has arrived. this dragonfly has carried her away from what's been troubling her. Notice how the light, the beautiful pink light, is all over her back. And I'm telling you, if you were here with me, Cain, and you were looking at that card, you would not see pink. I cannot explain it. Do you see pink? What the fairies are saying is you've been carrying too much on your back, for sure, and your dear back needs a rest. So riding on this dragonfly, it could be that as you're stepping into tarot readings more clearly, more trustingly, it could be that that's your dragonfly, that you're getting perspectives that you never had before because now a part of you is seeing a bigger view. So walking toward what's going to really bring you joy is happening, Cain, whether you realize it or not. You have energy helping you, for sure. Cain has been here for several readings, one of my most loyal followers, and I just can't tell you how meaningful it is for me that you guys come back and you enjoy hearing how I interpret the stories on the cards. Cannot explain what I see or why I see it, and so your participation here means the world to me. So let's go forward. And Janine's from South Africa and rebuilding from the ashes. Yes, isn't that something how the cards seem to know? And like I said, this pink light that's everywhere, look at down here, see it? It's just such an indication that you are in the right place at the right time. You are supposed to be here for these readings and receive the love of the fairy kingdom. Okay. Varsha and Janine, Anjali. Oh, yes. So Anjali, what's so important is that what I would do is to go back and be sure to watch your reading again. I'm going to be putting the timestamps in because as you watch the reading again and use the card's energy to give you the answer that you're looking for with the separation time, okay? I'm here to do private readings. If you guys want a private reading, all you do is email me or just hit the comment button after the reading's over. I will try to connect with you. But with only one card from the fairies, it's just like a little tiny snippet of what the energy is for you today. And that Empress energy that you had is so cool because it really shows that something's developing, Anjali. Okay, so go back and listen to that reading again. Also, hold in your mind the desire to have clarity. Now, see the white? That's what I'm seeing normally. That's what I'm seeing. And then this one back here is pink. I know I'm saying that tons of times. Sorry about that. Okay, where are we? Who is ready? Mickey, a beautiful deck. I love it. So, Mickey, because you love my beautiful fairy deck, I know you love the fairies. So I'm just going to pull a card for Mickey. Mickey, the first thing that the fairies are telling me is they love your name. So I don't know if you've recently changed your name or there's something magical about your name, or it could be that somebody in your family doesn't like how you spell your name, but there's some kind of a naughty energy that they're feeling around your name. So we have the Eight of Swords. Oh, see, and now look at how that searing, it's like a searing, light. A searing light that is illuminating. There's something coming to light for you that's a little uncomfortable. And it's interesting that I picked up with the energy that there may be some people in your family that just don't approve of your choices, that they feel that you might be deceived or you might just not know how to take care of yourself. But Mickey, I see in the card the expression on the little fairy's face, and look how her wings are hanging down, and she's just feeling unsupported, and she doesn't feel like people understand who she is and how important it is for her to be a free spirit. Okay, and in this deck, the swords are indicated by thorns. But I have really good news for you, Mickey. Okay, are you ready for it? Even though you've been feeling a little blue because something is out of sorts and somebody's not seeing you correctly and it doesn't feel comfortable, I have a big ant on me. Sorry about that. Even though I love the woods, I don't like when bugs crawl on me. Okay, so I'm just setting this up so we can see it a little bit better. Let me back this up a little bit because the light changed for you, Mickey. Okay, so I see those 3 feathers that she's wearing coming off of her headdress. So I think there are 3 people right now that you need to write a letter to. You don't need to send it. I don't think you should. But I think you should pick 3 people in your current family or friend group who you think does not approve of you, and then write them a letter and ask them to accept you. Ask them in the letter. You don't have to send it, but just be able to say to your person, you know what, even though you don't understand me, I love you and I'm trying to do life the best I can. Because part of your issue, Mickey, is that your own thoughts are causing you more trouble than they are. Believe it or not, they don't think about you every day. They don't think about you every minute. In fact, they're so busy with their own drama. Isn't that the truth? Oh gosh, you know what came into my mind right now? You might be a person who gives a lot of advice. They come to you for advice, and then you tell them what to do, and they don't do it. And you may think, oh, I'm so tired of hearing them complain about it. Remember, it's your own mind that's causing you those issues. So do that letter writing. Pick 3 people and choose to send them loving energy and let them go. All right? I'm noticing the pink light is softening and coming back into your card. So I feel like you've gotten this message, Mickey. And I love how you spell your name. Okay. I never know the direction these cards are going to go in, you guys. I've been here an hour already, but I do have more time. So I'm going to hang out a little bit longer for sure. And we have Jessica, and we have Bhavna. Welcome, Bhavna. I bow to you. All right. And Cheryl, I think I did you, Cheryl. Yes. If I didn't, please do add a comment. I will get back to you unless I have 2 Cheryls. And if I do, if that wasn't you, Cheryl, just mention it. Thank you for your patience, you guys. All right. So let's go forward, and we have Bhavna. Bhavna, let's see what the fairy deck has for you. I'm just moving myself a little bit because of the lighting. Just bring my candle down here. Okay, Bhavna, I'm having such a good time with y'all today. Thank you for being with me. I feel like every Sunday we should do fairy readings, don't you guys? It's lovely. Although next week when we come back, if the light isn't pink, forgive us. Okay, and we have our Bhavna. What a gorgeous card. And I feel just the harmony of the insects that are around me right now, and I just feel like I want to look at this card. Right away it reminds me of The Little Mermaid because of the whole Little Mermaid story, as you know, with the mermaid falling in love with a human. And so I feel in a way for you, Bhavna, that you do have that fish out of water feeling. And I think that may be part of the reason I love this deck so much. Now the train is noisy. I hope y'all can hear me. But being a fish out of water is not an easy thing. Having the kind of personality that you just feel awkward, it's easier for you to be quiet. It's hard to find someone that truly loves you. And Bhavna, what this shows me is that there's someone in your life right now. There's someone who really loves you. And I think they have friend energy attached to it. I think that, I think you don't see the person as a lover and you see them as a friend, but they feel you differently. They have caregiving energy. They really do see you as a good match. But Bhavna, do you have someone in your life that you think is just a friend? Maybe you felt sometimes that they do care for you deeper than you do. Oh gosh. I feel like that horn going off of the train is getting our attention, right? It's like ding, ding, ding. Yes. There seems to be energy around you that's trying to get your attention. I love that for you, Bhavna. Watch your world this week and make sure to come back next Sunday and get another reading, okay? We're going to open the cards again. Next week, I'll probably do the Fairy Oracle and rather than the Tarot for us, just for a switch up. But there's someone in your life who wants more from you. It could be a friend who wants to be a more intimate friend, or it could actually be a future partner. And if you're already with someone, there's something in your relationship that you're not fully recognizing for yourself, all right? Very interesting reading for the Nine of Cups, my friend. Okay, let's go forward. Anjali, I love, the more you key in to all of, thank you, Mystical Rose. Fairies, help me. I would love to look up and see a turtle walking across my woods. I would be so excited. All right. Oh, good. I'm glad. Mystical Rose, I want to draw you a card, and then Varsha will be next. So, Mystical Christina, who wants to be a fairy a godmother. I often call myself a fairy guide mother. That's kind of my name for myself because I'm 71, I'm a grandmother. I have a lot of people that come to me for advice, and maybe 1 out of 10 follows the advice. So I love these readings because we attract what we radiate. And I love that so many people have joined me today for these fairy readings. Okay, so I noticed that this card spun out of the deck. So I feel like that's our next card, and that will be for Varsha. And so, Mystical Christina, it's my honor to draw a card for you. Mystical Christina Rose, I want to say the whole name, has been doing some work for me by flipping cards. I'm creating a project. If you own a deck of cards, I invite you to be part of my world. If you email me, Mystical Christina Rose, can you put my email in there? The tarot info, please, at gmail.com, just so people have it. Because I would love for anybody that loves fairy cards and owns a deck, please email me. I want to know you better. Mystical Christina Rose, let's take a look. Interesting card with the 3 of Wands. Okay, let me look at it. The art in here is so different from the regular tarot. And so my mind jumps to look at the tarot deck and see that in my mind. And the fact that the wands have mushrooms in them, again, I feel like now here I am in the woods. I did find mushrooms that were growing on the side of a tree, and they looked like good mushrooms that are okay to consume. But when I looked it up, it gave a special warning that said, please do not eat these mushrooms because it takes an expert to know whether they're poisonous or not. So for you, Christina, I feel like what's happening is that the studying you're doing right now, the curiosity you have for doing things a different way is important. And I feel like, in a way, in your own personal situation, it may be that as you study and become a fairy guide mother, excuse me, I said it about you too, a fairy godmother energetically, and begin to really touch people's lives with the magic that you know. When you lost your the people in your life who departed in 2024, the truth is it's like a initiation. It's like a spiritual initiation. Any kind of a huge loss puts you at a fork in the road. Some people never get over it. They have a loss that happens when they're a child, and when they're 65 years old, they're still holding the pain. They're holding the pain, and they will not take that fork in the road. But you are different. You have made some positive decisions around your life that have really been rather stunning to your own self. And right now I'm seeing something ever so interesting. So I want you to look at the top right corner of the card. See it? Now I'm going to move the card a little bit, and something's going to appear. See that? and it disappears in the light. Let me show you again. See that? So what I'm seeing is that you are in an extremely gradual process where parts of your past are being erased. Not the experience, you'll never forget, but the pain. And I know for sure that pain is dissolvable. You guys know that I do tapping. Tapping is a mysterious and easy technique where you can release stress from yourself, because you cannot keep blaming yourself and others for your stress. So, Miss Christina Rose, I know that you're coming into a new era of life. And as you let the light in, and it will continue to erase. Isn't that cool? I just love this deck so much. It will continue to erase and eliminate some of those thought bubbles, right, that are holding you back. It's important to realize that as you go forward, your person, your partner, does not quite have the same interest, right? Not quite. Similar, but not quite. And also, this would be indicative of your new people that are going to come in toward you for guidance. They're not as passionate as you. They don't want to put the time in that you do, but you must allow them to live in their reality and to accept that they may be at a different level than you. Important to speak your truth with love, of course, but remember that your time with the fairies, your time with your spiritual exploration is going to be very personal. And even though you have intimacy with friends and family, there are things that the fairies will show you that are just for you. Also, have you done mushroom medication? Have you considered it? Because mushrooms can be very, very effective for breaking deep grief and for breaking deep lack of self-confidence, okay? And you may be all aware of that because I know you do herbs and crystals and all of that. But great reading on that Three of Wands for you. Okay, so Varsha, thank you, Varsha. This is your card. It kind of wiggled itself, so I take it as your card. Very cool that you enjoy fairies also. And be sure when you go to other readers who are doing fairy readings, be sure to jump in and make a comment or hit a thumbs up, because the fairies are very fond of being appreciated. Okay, so Varsha, the Four of Pentacles. So Varsha, what I'm feeling is true for you is that you are being cautious, that you're being very careful, that you're aware that your finances are needing attention. And I see, look at how she looks. She's just kind of, what is that look on her face? She actually looks pretty content, doesn't she? Even though the pentacles are only the four of the deck, of the suit, and it goes all the way up to the king. She's not mature at this point. Her use of pentacles is growing. The cool thing is that the universe is bringing in supplies. Now notice the mouse. Now the mouse does not look like a mouse. It kind of looks like a rat because the fairy is so tiny. But the universe has assigned creatures to bring nutrition to the fairy. So this is what I have learned over time. Going through my finances go up and down like everyone's does. And when I'm in an ebb and the cash flow goes down, it's so important that I stay grateful. And you guys know, if you come to my readings, we talk about gratitude all the time. Because even though it's not perfect, your life is better than it was last year at this time. Even being here with the people who love fairies, you're in a wonderful audience of people, aren't you? The magic of fairies takes us back to childlike energy. And the message of this card is to continue to trust the universe to bring you what you need. All of this, Varsha, it's just so important that you look around, because the fairies, God, and the angels are providing for you all the time. It just comes in very surprising, tiny little ways. In my neighborhood, the other day, a lady came up to my door, knocked on the door, and handed me 3 fresh tomatoes. She didn't even grow them in her own garden, but has a friend who has a wild and crazy tomato bush and brought them to me. Little did she know I was making tuna and I really wanted a tomato. See, how does this happen? To me, it's the energy of our ideas that do have presence, and that our ideas bring forward beautiful things from the universe. Have any of you who are watching me, have you ever had something really beneficial show up? Hit the thumbs up and join in that energy. The fairies love to be noticed. They love to be thanked, and they love to know that you know they're watching out for them. Okay? Just a beautiful reading for you, Varsha. Okay, let's see if there's anybody else. Okay, so Cheryl, what you do is, good morning, Tanzanite. I'm so glad you're here. And Rusika, I see that you're here. Just all you do is say that you love the fairies. That's all it takes to get a reading. And Cheryl, this is how it works. Like I'm going to put timestamps in. I have a lot of readings today, holy moly. But I will put timestamps to make it easy for you. And then go back and listen again and apply the wisdom to your situation, okay? Because what the fairies want you to know is that it's your attention. Oh, I hear a new bird. Hear that? Okay, so I really feel that those of you who are watching me right now, there's going to be answers for you in nature. Leave your device at home and take a walk outside. See how many different sounds you hear. Now those I hear 2 birds talking to each other. Okay, there's one to my right, and there's going to be one to my left that'll answer. Okay, so I feel like for you, Cheryl, there is some communication going on spiritually, energetically. It's like your 2 spirits are calling out to one another, but I do feel like your own personal reading that I did here is going to give you a clue, okay? If you need more, you can email me easily. My email address is tarotinfoplease@gmail.com, or for private readings, just go to manifestfaster.com. I'd be happy to do a private reading for you guys. Okay, hi Lilac. Oh, I love your name, Lilac. Yes, Jessica, isn't it amazing how many people can resonate with the same cards? Absolutely. Lilac, Rusika, I would love to pull a card for you. Sophia, love having you join. Thank you so much. Today, Tanzanite, what we're asking for is for people to just simply tell us that they love the fairy kingdom. That's all we need to hear to qualify you for a reading. So if you would like me to read you a card, I'm Catherine, and this is Fish Out of Water Tarot, and I welcome your requests, okay? All right, so let's go through here and see if there's anyone else. Oh, Gabby, oh, I'm so glad that you're still here also. So great. Thank you so much. I'm really tickled to be reading cards for you guys. Sophia, oh, Sophia, a girl after my own heart. Sophia, I don't know if you saw, and Tanzanite, I don't know if you saw, but I'm just going to do a check and see if the light is still pink. Yes. Okay, so what's happening today is that the splashes of light on my path in the fairy forest is pink. And right now it's kind of fading. So I feel like the energy of the fairies started to fade, and it's time for Catherine to go home and see her dogs. But when we started this morning, I did a full fairy tour of my woods, and you guys are welcome to go back and watch that. But what struck me today about these readings is that the fairies are so wanting us to understand how much they love us, okay? And so, as I explained, even in my candle, it's white in there from my eyeballs, but look at how it shimmers in pink. So, Sophia, I love that you like how relaxed your fairies are. That really makes me smile ear to ear. So let's pull out, let me just move these a tiny bit. Let me pull out a card for Sophia. And even the bugs are a little quieter, aren't they? Okay, so we have Queen of Wands, Sophia. I love the Queen of Wands, one of my very favorite cards. I resonate a lot with the Queen of Wands. She really knows what she wants and she knows how to go about getting it. So, Sophia, there is something going on in your energy right now. You are not seeing your own strength. This Queen of Fairies is here today and she's going like this. And she's also going like this. You know how you drum your fingers? She's like, see her hand there on the mushroom? She's like, okay, girl, when are you going to start getting it? Girl, you are way stronger than you think you are. You're sitting on the harvest of something. See those leaves in front of her? It's autumn, which is coming here in my part of the world, in Tennessee. Things are getting cooler. The leaves are starting to change. And it looks like in the next month or so, Sophia, there's a big change coming. The only person that's stopping it is you. The fairies they're a little bit, what can I say? They're like rolling their eyes at you. They're not upset, but they just feel like, girl, you've got so much ability. So, Sophia, there is a woman named Jessica Heslop, and her website is called Live the Life You Love. That's on YouTube, and all y'all should go check her out. But she has something called the Lucky Girl Syndrome. I mean, there's tons of people that have done recordings, and I know that. But hers is about 15 minutes long. I'm going to put it into the community, make it easy for you guys. But her teaching is commonly known. There's something called the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system sounds very scientific, and it is. It's an actual physical part of your brain. And when it's activated, you tend to see the things that are here. The reticular activating system, you tend to see the things you expect to see. For example, Pam Grout, one of my favorite people on the planet, wrote a book called E Squared, and I highly recommend it if you want to change your life, because she teaches you how to use your mind in such a smart way. And one of her experiments is that you set in your mind, I want to see, like, for example, a yellow car. I want to see a yellow car. And you repeat that to yourself. And what happens is, before 48 hours is up, she predicts you'll see a yellow car. And it is crazy how good that works. So learning about your RAS, your reticular activating system, would be super smart, Sophia, because you are a powerful manifester, girl. And it's time for you to look yourself in the mirror, eye to eye, look at yourself right in the mirror and say, even though I don't feel like it, I'm a powerful manifester. All right? Will you do that for me, Miss Sophia? I hope so. It's a super important lesson. Hey, Tanzanite Pure, you're just doing great. Absolutely. Okay, no worries. Yes, Scott, you did receive your message, and I will definitely put timestamps in today so you can go back and receive your message if you wish. All right, let's see here. Okay, Bhavna, wonderful. I'm so happy that you're married. It's like that, being able to recognize what the energy of that reading was for you is even tripled, okay? Because you have your partner. And so as you are going through, pregnant, congratulations, Bhavna. But as you're going through the transition into this next phase of your life, receive your reading with that in mind, okay? You are very much, I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you for putting in there. Oh yeah, I forgot your cat's name, Mushroom. I forgot about that. It left my mind. Okay. And Tanzanite, let's pull a card for you, my darling. I don't want to miss you. Notice that these guys have this wrench by their name. That's because the universe is bringing me people who have tools that help me. I put out over 2,000 videos now, and I can't even believe I've put out that many, except I love doing them so much, and most of them are shorts, little tiny bites of inspiration for you. but Tanzanite and Mystic Christina Rose have stepped up to help me, and it just means so much to me, you guys. So much love for you. So Tanzanite, here is your card from the fairy deck before I go home. And, ooh, beautiful card, the Knight of Swords. Okay, so the crow spirit, the crow spirit. You might want to Google the spiritual meaning of crow, because I feel like there's something around how your mind works that will be very clear when you read the beautiful message of crows. Because there's something around how you think about things that is sharp and intuitive. The crow sometimes scares some people. They feel like it's a big scary bird, but the reality is that they're so smart, just like any nature animal. So this Knight of Swords is a very fast-moving knight, well-prepared, coming with an offer. So for you, Tanzanite, it's so important to rest in between your opportunities. And if right now something's going on where you wish there was more activity or you wish there was more progress, the fairies are promising you support. And also I'm very aware of the shin guards that she's wearing on her legs, the shin guards. So I don't know if you have an athlete in your family or somebody who needs to wear shin guards, but there's something real important about paying attention to what's going on around you right now. Check out that crow wisdom, and don't be rushed. Don't be pushed to do something you're not ready for. It's better to follow that inner guidance and trust the fairies, okay? All right, my friends, my phone is just about out of juice. If you are waiting for a reading, so sorry I'm not going to be able to do any more today. My light is fluttering and it's starting to lose its pink. And also I noticed over here when I showed the light that the pink is fading. So I think our time with the angels is drawing to a close. I'm going to do one more card for the collective, and as a thank you, what can we offer the fairies in gratitude for all of the wisdom they've given us today? Let's take a peek and see. Oh yes, a beautiful finishing card, the King of Pentacles. This is such a soul-satisfying, wonderful card to finish with. What we're seeing here is contentment, total relaxation and contentment. So I believe what our offering is to the fairies is to be able to say to them, we are living in this energy this week. Even though we may not be sure where the next something is coming from, whatever it is you're waiting for, but we're making that choice to stay content, to stay spiritually connected, and to trust the universe to draw to us exactly what we need. What I notice here are the thorns. Now remember, the thorns do not belong to this suit. The thorns come from the suit of the swords. So what this is saying to you, and the fairies are saying back to you, don't let the suckers get you down. Don't let the people in your life who complain and are thorny to you, don't let them distract you. You are on a mission. Stay in gratitude. Appreciate fairy wisdom. They're always there the minute you need them. And they are bringing provision. Provision sometimes comes with thorns, but you don't need to receive the thorns to pick the fruit. All right? Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for joining me for today's fairy readings. I'm just going to blow out my candle, bring our fairy reading to a close. Thank you so much. I can't turn my hands that way. Thank you so much for being here, for showering your love on me with all of the thumbs up and all of your willingness to spend time with me. It's very moving, and I love you for it. So stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what our pick a card reading will be, but it'll be in the morning. Look forward to see you then. Have an absolutely beautiful day, everyone. Bye now.